Welcome back to another edition of From the Desk. I am your host, the Butch of Tehran, and the founder of On the Line Media, Samira Moyeddim. If you care for what we do and want to make sure that we keep on doing it, show us some love. Visit patreon.com/onthelinemedia. We are bringing you the journalism you need to make sense of the world you are living in. Current, critical, and contextual journalism, unfettered and unfiltered. We're starting in Casaloma today. This is a city of Toronto historic landmark, a place of school trips and Gothic weddings and fountain wonderment. This was the location that an organization calling itself the Abraham Global Peace Initiative chose for a night of fundraising titled The Crystal Ball Benefit. And their keynote speaker for the evening, drum roll please, none other than Gilad Erdan. That's right, the former Israeli ambassador to the United Nations was being hosted at our very own Casaloma in Toronto. You remember Gilad, or as I like to call him, Prop Man. From cakes.
Kfir, this birthday cake is for you.
To candles.
I light this candle, Mr. President, to honor them, and may their memory be blessed.
To yellow stars.
My team and I will wear yellow stars. We will wear this star until you condemn the atrocities of Hamas.
To shredders.
This is You are shredding the UN Charter with your own hands. Yes, that's what you're doing, shredding the UN Charter.
Gilad was that grade 3 show and tell teacher that taught you to use objects when words got in the way. He wasn't the best orator Israel ever had.
But you are bastardizing the meaning of peace-loving.
Now, on one of his last days of serving Israel, he did an interview with Netanyahu mouthpiece I-24. Have a listen.
מטה האו"ם, בניין האו"ם, הנה הבניין המפורסם. מה אתה אומר, גלעד? הבניין המיותר. באמת? ייסגר ונמחק מעל פני האדמה. עד כדי כך. עד כדי כך.
That's right. Gilad said that the UN building should be wiped off the face of the earth. Now, keep in mind, he was saying this as Israel has been maniacally bombing every bloody UN building in sight, including schools and warehouses, and also killing more than 300 United Nations workers. Gilad also spent more than a year and a half providing cover for the carnage Israel was exacting in Gaza. Lie after lie after lie after lie.
Hamas ISIS terrorists are operating inside and under hospitals, including Shifa Hospital, which houses their command center.
So that is who the Abraham Global Peace Initiative invited as their keynote speaker. So naturally, protesters gathered outside the event, and yours truly was on the ground covering it. Now, this day and this protest started out like any other rally against a war criminal. Chanting and drumming, this is a genocide, and all about sort of, Casaloma's role in it. But then came the cast of characters. There was the old man who couldn't quite figure out how to give a middle finger, and then decided maybe it's easier to just salute. And is it even a protest unless a Zionist with a Moses complex wants to part the sidewalk sea and plow through everyone?
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free!
And don't forget Otto Zio, the drive-by geriatric flag waver. And just as I thought I had enough footage for today's broadcast, the heavens opened up, and there she was, in black and white.
Suan! Suan! Suan, hi! Hi, Suan! Hi, Suan! Have fun inside! Enjoy the chicken supreme!
It was my girl, Suan. Suan giving me her best crotch shot. Look, in many ways, this protest was like a high school reunion of protests. I even spotted the Zionist vigilante group, Magen Herut.
That guy's not a cop. Those are the vigilantes that are hired.
And then again, I saw them across the parking lot with their director, Aaron Hadida. You may recall this is the same vigilante organization that was cop cosplaying on my campus at the University of Toronto.
This is the gentleman from Magen Herut.
Aaron Hadida. Yeah, that's
Aaron
me.
Hadida, back on campus at the University of Toronto.
I am.
I'm going to be doing an entirely separate piece on the rise of these vigilante Zionist organizations here in Canada. But for now, just know that this organization, Magen Herut, takes its name from a Zionist terror group. Oh, and here's the clincher. The organization has charitable status here in Canada. Now, there is a movement underway to try and push the Canada Revenue Agency to get their charitable tax status revoked. And you can see the QR code here. And I will link to the revocation action in the description of the program today. Okay, back to Casaloma and the Abraham Global blah, 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 blah. So who is this organization that invited Goebbels 2.0 to Toronto? It's fronted by a man named Avi Ben Lolo. He describes himself on X as founder and CEO / proud Canadian Zionist / speaker / author / columnist / producer / anti-Semitism / Holocaust / Israel / global affairs. Shorty got low. Sounds exhausting. Now, in January of 2025, this organization put out a white paper urging action from the Canadian government entitled Legislative Recommendations, Canada's Roadmap for 2025. The group wants action on many fronts, including immigration, university campuses, and the media. On immigration, they want people to fill out a values test. Good old Avi wants all immigrants to have the same values as he does, or else they can't come into Canada. Those values include, quote, Israel's right to exist. Is that a value? Is that a human value? Is that an ethics? Yeah. Don't you just love it when immigrants worry about other immigrants coming to Canada? Now, the Abraham Global Peace Initiative is also very interested in higher education in Canada. Their recommendations have the usual dog whistles about wokeism and radicalism on campuses. But Ben Lolo also wants federal oversight of university funding and curriculum. Now, where have we heard that before? So we know protests were happening outside, but what exactly was taking place inside? What was good old Prop Papa saying? Play the tape.
Today, it's comprised of, you know how many countries? 193 members. And who are they? Who are these new members? So, listen to this. 56 of them, Muslim countries, almost 1/3. Majority, non-democracies. All of them have the same voting right, regardless of size or human rights record. What a distorted system. And this is exactly the UN's original sin.
He said that. He said the United Nations' original sin was allowing Muslim countries, first, entry into the United Nations, and second, allowing them to vote. So, racist ranting inside, and outside, the Toronto police all of a sudden began kettling protesters and getting pretty violent. Watch this.
Get off the road! You don't go behind officers while they're working. I don't know what you're doing. Back up. Stay behind the officer. You don't go up behind officers while they're working. You don't go up.
They even took me for a bit of a ride across the street. I didn't ask for it, but they just zzz. Watch.
You don't go behind officers while they're working.
So the response to these protests garnered much attention, but from all the wrong people, including newly elected Liberal Member of Parliament Leslie Take Me to the Zionists church. Leslie took to X to speak of how disappointed she was with the protesters. She wanted civility for Gilad Erdan's racist tirades. She wanted respect shown to the man who wants the United Nations wiped off the face of the earth. This is the Liberal Party today. She also said in her post on X that people were targeted for being Jewish. No, church lady. Nobody was targeted for that. They were shamed for attending an event that was clapping happily for the mouthpiece of a genocidal state. Join me next time on From the Desk when we look at another post-October 7th organization that has popped up here in Canada. This one is helmed by the former Canadian ambassador to Israel under Stephen Harper, Vivian Berkovitzy, and a real estate developer named Larry Marr. Meet Exigent Foundation. The focus of their work is, quote, to foster knowledge regarding the threat posed by extremism to liberal Western democracies. And if you don't remember who Vivian Berkovitzy is, well, after being the Canadian ambassador to Israel, she then went to work for an outfit called Black Cube, as reported by the CBC. Black Cube is made up of ex-IDF and Israeli intelligence agents, the Mossad. Black Cube made headlines in Canada when they tried to frame an Ontario judge to make anti-Semitic remarks. This story made it all the way to the Wall Street Journal. So why am I telling you about this Exigent Foundation? Well, because Exigent Foundation has been sending Canadian journalists, some Canadian journalists, on all expenses paid trips to Israel to write favorable articles about the country. And it's not just one or two journalists, it's nearly 10 and dozens of articles. Oh, and Vivian doesn't like me too much. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and all the rest. If you like what we do, you can show us some love at patreon.com/onthelines media. Till next time, stay tuned.